welcome to another episode of The Flank. We are here at the Call of Duty World Championship on Championship Sunday. I'm joined by the one and only the Human Terror, one of the best ARs to ever do it. Give it up for the world champ himself, Sam LaRue, Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ, Christopher Duarte, Parasite. We got the multi-world champion, multi-champion, a legend, an icon to the Call of Duty scene, Patrick Price, and of course, the one and only the executive producer of The Flank, Ben J. Nassim. Guys, before we get started, we were just told we don't got a lot of time. We got 20, 30 minutes max to run the show. We got to get out of here, but we had to break down what happened today. I mean, guys, what an event, guys. What a fucking event. What'd you guys think?
I mean, we all agree probably best event of the CDL era. Everybody agree?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. It's definitely one of the best events of the CDL era. I mean, the energy in the venue was absolutely insane, guys. I've never heard a venue so loud in my life. And Optic was able to do it.
Optic didn't just do it. They beat the shit out of them.
They beat the shit out of New York. It wasn't even close.
They beat the shit out of New York today.
Shotzi did get MVP for the tournament. I think we got to go to Pat. Pat, what do you think?
Well, I got a question. I thought all the other CDL events for MVP, they only did finals MVP.
Was it event MVP?
Am I wrong?
I don't know the title for this.
I
Was it
thought-
event
I don't know.
MVP?
Sam, can you move your mic up real quick?
But is that not true?
Sorry, I gotta hold it 'cause
I don't know if
it's
it's true or not.
I swear all the other events were finals MVPs, not MVPs for the whole tournament. Because
There's
in
been
that
a couple
case,
finals MVPs.
that's what I thought. Yeah. In that case, it would have been Pred. I mean, even if Shotzi's MVP of the whole event. But, yeah, I mean, I stand by what I said. I called him not a superstar in the offseason MW2. He absolutely was not. I mean, I don't think anyone here can disagree. He was not a superstar at the end of the game last year. And even in the beginning of this year, it took him a little while. And obviously, he's improved greatly. But I stand by what I said.
You're not moving
Stand
him
by
up?
what you don't think he's
He
a
hasn't
superstar?
reclaimed his status.
He wasn't. I mean, he's getting close.
He's got MVP.
No, Pred's my MVP.
Oh my
Pred's my
God.
MVP. Pred's my MVP.
Bro, what else is there to do?
I mean, he's getting close.
Oh
He's getting
my
real
God.
close.
What else is there to do,
I will
bro?
say, Sam, some people did lose their superstar status, though, at this event.
Who do you think?
I think we got to knock down some of the Atlanta FaZe guys.
Shit.
But like I said, I told you guys from the get-go, Pred was the superstar. I said it. And look, in the grand final of champs, Pred was your best player.
There he was.
Yeah, he had a massive turnaround this tournament. He went from being extremely poor at Search and Destroy, and then on top of that, his respawn performances were really not really the best because he was playing really slow, to getting back to that like hunting play style where he was just running people down. He had quite a lot of S&Ds this weekend where he was dropping like close to double digits, if not double digits. He turned his play style around, and he was a big factor as to why they won. And then in this grand final, man, dude, Ken came out to fucking play that first
Bandana
map.
Kenny, bro.
He was shooting. Kenny always shows up in these big moments, and you know, they were ultimately able to carry that forward to a victory.
Yeah, let's switch on over and take a look here at some of the stats coming in here and see what we're working with here. Obviously, this is the grand final. It was a 5-1 victory for Optic Texas here. New York was only able to win one map here.
We
in the
can't get a
series.
close champs final, bro.
Well, I think the first two maps were close, but after that, Karachi, Optic started to really pull away. And even though the last map went to a round 5, I think Optic was looking good value to close that one out with the opposite
Storybook ending, bro.
Yeah.
What was your finals map count? Have we had a close champs final?
Toronto FaZe.
Mine was 6-3. 5-3, 6-3, something like
Toronto
that.
FaZe went to map.
Yeah, that was
8.
Cold War, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. All of them been kind of blowout since.
On the topic of this series, there was 2 game-changing plays that pretty much flipped this entire series on its head. And it was in the first 2 maps.
Kenny?
The Karachi flip.
The Karachi, they were flipped out on the way to P5. New York ended up flipping out, and then Dante played for a streak for 3 years. Optic literally ended up snowballing that and then winning that. And then the S&D was when Paco had, or New York and Paco had a streak going into that, like, what, 5-4 round for them to close it out.
Yep.
They had information on, like, 3 different players. Dante was on that bridge, and they didn't use a streak. Shotzi ends up getting through, making a play, and then it all cascades from there. But, I mean, New York had those 2 winnable maps, and they need to win those maps because a lot of people were saying
The
this
middle
map
part of the
set,
series, yeah.
this map set did not benefit Optic, and they still made slight work of it. So
The middle part of the series I liked for Optic, but yeah, I agree. I think New York had to start a lot harder, or hotter than they
needed
did.
to start way hotter.
Yeah.
And, they failed.
But
I mean,
I think Go ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say, take a look at the stats here. I mean, I want to give kudos to Kenny. I thought Kenny was spectacular.
That bandana goes on, bro.
Kenny got
But
them
the
going for
amount
series.
of, just to start the series, the amount of 2 pieces he was able to get these guys going. There was a few times where Optic went 3 dead and Kenny just turned up and popped a couple kills and kept them in the game, especially early on in the series. And then I think Kenny got them going, and then I think the Shotzi and Pred train, as the series went on, just started erupting.
Just got hot.
And Bruce didn't give himself enough credit, bro. He had 20,000 damage here. He said he couldn't buy a kill, which I guess could be fair. He had a .82, but bro, the way that this guy has adapted his playstyle throughout the year just to come here and finally get that ring under his belt, I think it says a lot about him, man. I know Mama Dashy's feeling super proud right now. So huge shout out to Big Bruce.
I want to give credit to AG because, again, we have been people critical of his playstyle, and I think rightfully so. But this man has had the go button all week. He's been playing the way that we want to see him play. Take space, hit routes, be aggressive in search, find those bloods, be aggressive in control. And I think he made the plays this week. And that's the AG I hope we see next season as Optic tries to go back-to-back.
Well, I said that we talked about it yesterday, but I think it says a lot about him, right? Like the way that he's able to kind of change his play style. Damon even said it, right? Like all the critiques were super valid, and we deserved all the criticism we were getting. And we were in a serious slump, and it was up to us to believe in each other and come together and get that W. And they did. They didn't give up on each other. And it showed here at the last event. The work that they put on, the extra hours that they put in, it came here to show for them.
Isn't it crazy how like history repeats itself? Scump won his first world championship in his 7th season, and then Brandon finally won his world championship on his 7th season.
Yeah.
That's actually
Talking about
crazy.
the number 7, man.
And then also the walkout when the Dynasty walked out first.
That
I mean,
was
that was
crazy.
cold. That was
every,
cold right there.
every production decision this weekend and the way that this event was put on was fucking flawless.
Absolutely.
It was all
Absolutely.
unbelievable.
You
So
got to give
shout
a
out to Optic, man.
huge kudos to Corey Dunn as well over at the production team. Davis, the TST guys, and all of them. They were working the venue the whole entire time.
EFG team that obviously does league broadcasts as well. They
Corey
killed it.
showed me his sketch to
Yeah.
the venue last night at
We're
the bar.
Yeah.
And he was like, this was back in April, like the vision that I just always kept seeing in like a COD Champs venue.
Yeah.
And just to see it all sketched out and see all the little things that they were doing and just all the work that went into it. Huge kudos to them, and congratulations to Optic.
I think we should probably try to get Corey on maybe for an episode.
I would love to
summer.
have Corey on an episode. I would love to get him on.
We talked to that stuff and other stuff, but do we want to go map by map? Do we want to talk about like what does New York do from here? What do you guys want to
Yeah,
start?
I wanted to talk about New York. What do you think's going on with New York now? Obviously, they didn't get the result they wanted. I think they should keep their heads up. I mean, they almost literally went
you're
back-to-back
making
COD
back-to-back
champs.
yeah.
I mean, at that point, it's like, you know.
I think it's clear that, Kids is the ultimate X factor in Call of Duty, and they still got one more big event coming up in EWC. You try and convert that one, and then you win. If you win that, great. You won 2 events this year. You run it back next year on the Treyarch title, and I think you go from there. If you lose EWC, is it like, well, do we want to maybe think about rethinking Caesar Sky's Dante AR line? Do we want to try and upgrade Kismet? It's all going to depend on who's available in free agency.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe it depends on who's available. Because Kismet, again, he just has his very unique play style, so he's going to be kind of hard to replace.
Yeah.
On that front, but also like we might be quick to judge Kismet for his performance this year, because obviously he threw up a lot of stinkers throughout the season, but this is still pretty a successful season for this New York roster. And Kismet, he had a bad season, but overall, he was great in Vanguard towards the end of the year when he first got picked up. He was great in MW2.
Yes, banger.
Say that he needs to be dropped off this team maybe too soon. Give it another season. I think this team is great. I think Sib answered all his he pretty much answered all his criticisms. People were saying that this guy maybe shouldn't be on this team. They need a pre-stub, blah, blah, blah. Sib came out and played his best performance as an individual, in my opinion, pretty much since
Bro, Dante.
I mean, I look at New York
probably
now
would've
as
been
Hydra
MVP.
Sid. Those are the top 2 guys, without a question.
If New York would have went on to win this, Dante might have won MVP with the way
He should have won MVP if they would have won this. Dante definitely was arguably their best player, obviously with Paco, but for the entirety of Stage 4 to now, I mean, he's been lights out every mode, every series, throwing damage. I mean, he definitely rises.
You guys might disagree with me on this, but I think this round here in the second map, the last round, the round 11, was such a factor here in the series. I think just getting the momentum going. I thought this is either New York tying the series up by 1 or Optic just going up 2-0, feeling that crowd, feeling that energy, and it was a 3v4 situation.
I don't understand
for
Kiz
Optic
here.
Texas.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't understand how Shotzi makes his position known up here and Kismet's still sitting on this vending machine. and then he just gets ran down by Shotzi, and he's just cut off guard. But
It looks like he's splitting his screen, but I'm confused because his teammate has the street push at the time, I believe. So I don't know, especially with Ant shooting, you have guaranteed
they
info.
didn't show him
so
a clip, but yeah, he shot earlier up there.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, they know he's there. He got shot at and he shot.
I would have just ran at him or just got out.
What
like
is he
just ran out the
splitting though
door.
to watch there?
The bot like low for the street
Watching
push.
the
That's why
bottom
I'm
door, the
confused,
top
'cause-
door, and his close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Caesar
yeah.
has the street push, and they have red control for mid. So I don't know what Kids was looking at here. Maybe it was a miscomm or just an oversight. But
Don't you
Ant's
think he
staying
should
alive
just
for this
get the
one
fuck
was crazy.
out of there? I think he should just get out of there.
Or just commit to the kill. Like, Ant's up here. He looks like he gets timing, sliding down the stairs. Like, he's up here.
Yeah.
There's no world in which he should not be ready for that. But
Yeah.
Great play by Shotzi.
And then
though.
also keep in mind, Skies was doing that wall bang. New York went back to that Karachi wall bang, right? That all the way in the back of the spawn where you can shoot him off the B bomb. And Optic, they realized somebody tried to get on the bomb. Who has bomb right now? It's AG. He tried to get on the bomb and plant it. He gets tagged up, and then he ended up just wrapping that shit back to A. I thought that was a great heads-up play from Optic. They had that midway through that round and bring it back to A, because that wall bang's no joke. And clearly New York were prepared in this one. Was there any maps you guys thought really stood out? I thought that map 2 was big, man. I thought
I think
winning
the
that
map
round 11
4
was
was
big.
massive. I know it's, obviously it's an important map, map 4 Rio. Like
They
that was a
dominated the Rio.
slamming on
Slammed
Rio.
them.
And I think that
Slammed
was
them.
big for confidence for the next 2 maps. I also think that Karachi was big because I thought that could have been a start of a swing maybe for New York because that was their worst control map on the whole season. I thought that was going to be a clear-cut Optic win, and New York actually managed to get it. So I thought that there would be maybe a turning point there, but that's why I think the Rio
fair
is so
play to
important.
Optic, but it's just so crazy. Like, if you actually go back and watch the matches, this could have easily been a Strio start for New York had they kept their heads. Like, it just felt like Optic were just a far more composed team, and there was times where throughout this entire series, there's just like a lot of blacking out from New York where they were just, it did not look like they were on the same page. Even when they did the listen-ins, there was no like, I hear you.
It
There was
sounded
no
bad in
small
the
talk.
Rio.
Yeah.
Paco was repeating things over and over and over, and he was getting no acknowledgement from his roster. So I just don't think they played their best COD, and I feel like they maybe felt the
Speaking
pressure.
of Paco.
Papo.
Take a look at that stat line for the map, too. 15-6 for the loss.
7 first bloods.
7 first
that's
bloods,
insane.
15-6. I mean, definitely a frustrating one if you're Paco, for sure. I definitely think he's going to go back to the drawing board and see what the hell was going on there. You guys see New York making a change? Or what?
Not talk to WC. I think
I wouldn't even change after. I would keep the team the same.
I would assume every top 4 team is going to stick till EWC. There's really no reason to make a change after EWC. Like, let's say they go and they have a stinky. Like,
What about a
Yeah,
Toronto, New York super squad?
what would be the
Like,
squad you
combine
want?
them.
Scrappy,
Like,
Kleenex, Sib, Paco?
On what org?
Who cares?
Pat's org.
But
bro.
you said you said.
Pat is just trying to get away to get his Toronto prediction to fucking
You said-
insane.
hold on. You said Sib, Scrappy, Kleenex, and Paco?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's possible with like free agency and stuff like that. The
I don't know
only
if I
thing
like
is-
that
That'd be
team.
insane.
What?
The-
You don't like that team?
Nah.
That's just straight names on paper. Crazy
Yeah.
slave.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know if I
Kleenex
like
can do
that
what Kids
team.
does.
I don't know
I'm
if I
gonna be
like
honest.
that.
Out of
They could not be pulled. They are
Kleenex
so
isn't going
different.
Where's the
They're
discipline?
so
Where's
different.
Where's the discipline
Here's
in
the
that team?
problem is on
They're
that
so
team.
different.
You don't need him,
On
like,
that
I'm
team,
six.
Dante has
He
to be
kills that.
Hilton.
What happened, Ben?
Dante can't, like, on that team, then Dante would have to be the one taking a backseat and, like, doing all the Silk and Hill and shit. Like, you'd have to be the patient one.
That's good.
'Cause you're not going to make
Dude, let's
Scrap
reel
do
it
it.
in here.
Gas
That is
that,
not a
bro.
realistic roster. That will never
Yeah.
happen.
Bro, you're
That's-
talking about putting Ghosty for like a Beezy. Like, what are you
I'm not
talking
talking
about?
about
for
that
a
shit.
Beezy.
Who am I? Am I?
Ghosty for
Why
sale.
the fuck are
Ghosty
you
for
looking at me?
sale.
You and Chris are talking
Ghosty
some
for
crazy
sale.
stuff for
What
FaZe
the fuck
yesterday.
did I say?
Yesterday.
I was gonna say the only 2 realistic
said that.
possibilities, barring trades, are that could land on top 4 teams out of like all of the people on the lower end, are like Gwyn and Dan. Like
Yeah.
out of those 2 players, those are the only people that
You see
can land on
Gwyn
top.
getting on a top 4
No,
team?
I'm saying like
That'd be
I'm saying
insane,
if teams
That would
if
be
teams-
crazy.
I'm saying if teams are looking for an upgrade path for either a submachine gun player and an AR player,
Booz is also
and they
a free
can't.
agent,
Okay,
You're gonna
yeah,
put him
Booz.
back on a sub.
I'm saying if you're looking for an upgrade path and you're a team in the top 4 that can't get another player off the top 4 team, like that's like your only upgrade path.
Yeah.
Nobody
So-
else.
I don't know.
Is
I want to direct the convo back to Optic, though.
Yeah, they deserve all the credit, bro. They
from-
played insane.
From 12th to champs winning is in less than 2 weeks is fucking crazy. Like,
For an org that's traditionally crumbled after, like, you know, it's in the last year, for example, they went to back-to-back finals, crumbled at the end of last year. The year before that,
And I
That
do
practice
want to
going.
say something. I do
Yeah.
want to say something. This is why throughout the year, man, people got to relax when it comes to like roster changes sometimes, bro. I know they called for AG to be dropped a few times. I mean, I'm sure we've even talked about it on the show.
I mean, that's just knee-jerk reactions.
Yeah, 100%. But like that's what happens in COD, bro. Like you go through ups, you go through downs. Like in competition, you're gonna go through slumps. I mean, like I said, Damon was talking about it on the stage, and it's like. So you know what you have, like they, especially because they won Major 3, right? And then they go out and they have that terrible stage, that terrible stage 4. Like you know that they have what it takes to win a championship. They just did it. So it's just about putting those pieces back together instead of just having that reaction, like blow it up or fucking do this, do that, change this, change that. It's like, man, they just did that. Sometimes you just need to regroup, regain, and get back in there. And I think you can probably say that about all the top 4 teams but Optic now, right? Like those guys have to regroup, regain, and try and figure out what they got to do for EWC.
What is it, a month away?
Yeah, it's like
the middle of August
it's like it's coming up, bro. They got to go back. We were talking about this before. They got to go scrim again. Like people got to
champs, and then going back to scrims, bro. That's a crazy concept.
I will say though, I don't think the players like see EWC more than this. I think this was like their shit.
Sure,
like even Scrappy was talking about it. Like, man, this event right here, like nothing feels like COD champs. But Pat, you got anything nice to say about Optic Texas? Maybe get a little compliment. Maybe.
I mean, they won their home event. Congratulations.
Ace the cheese.
Listen, I'm a traditional person when it comes to these tournaments. I agree with you guys. I think this was definitely the best event of the CDO era. I just think it should be an Optic home series. It shouldn't be COD champs. I think COD champs needs to stay COD champs. And I don't know if you guys disagree or agree, but I think what we saw here definitely helped this Optic Texas team play as well as they did at this tournament.
The crowd?
Yeah.
I mean, they were definitely feeding off the crowd's energy.
I'm just talking about the
Don't you think the crowd's gonna be like that no matter where we are?
No,
because
it's
the Optic fans.
No, the crowd will. But I'm talking about doing like the drum thing with Hitch, doing all the Dynasty team walking out. Like, there's a bunch of activations that are occurring that wouldn't be at a normal event. Like, yeah, you'd have the crowd on your side, but you wouldn't have all this extra stuff that you only get in an Optics, like,
but
put on event.
I guess my next question is: does that extra stuff make them play? You think that extra stuff makes them play better?
I think so. I mean,
really?
I saw them crumble at other events.
I think it might, but not in the way you think. It's all that designed to keep the energy in the building high. You're trying to get the fans to start at that like 110% level.
That's fine,
and that's the energy that drives the players.
Yeah, that's fine, but it's still COD champs. It's not a home series.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Is your position then? You think like Optic teams should not be able to run COD champs?
That's what I think. Yeah, personally, I think they should. I like that they run their home events. That's fine. But COD champs should be exclusive.
Here's my position on it.
I don't care where the location is. It should just be ran production by the league.
Here's my take on every year. Champs should be run. Whatever bid is offering the best shit for an event. If it's the league because they've got a great venue and they got a great budget, or a team, let's do it.
Able to run a better event than the league? That's kind of my point. Like, why are the teams outbidding to run the event? Like,
well, I don't think the teams are outbidding. I think Optic offered to run champs. No,
but
was like, you want to pay for the fucking champs bet?
But that's like buying a win in a sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not buying a win.
How is the league not putting on the best tournament? That's the reality. Every year for the last 15 years, COD champs was the best tournament. We all know that. That's the league's responsibility to put that on.
Well, I mean, I think someone.
Yeah, but Optic also stepped up to host the event.
I'm not saying Optic did anything wrong. I mean? They capitalized. My problem was with the league, not with Optic. I just don't think. I think the league.
You see at the end when Daniel Say was saying, "I want to take a moment to thank the staff."
I bet he did. You know how much money they saved?
They cut him off and chalked it.
I would say that I'm very curious what the event format looks like next year because I think that could possibly change. We'll see. My personal opinion is, again, I just think if Toronto's got a great venue and a great concept,
but I don't think Toronto should be allowed to do it either. That's the thing.
I don't give a shit, bro.
COD champs should be Activision put on event.
Champs should be the best fucking event, bro.
Yeah, but that's my point. It should be Activision making that the best event. That's my point.
Well,
no team.
Clearly they're not capable
Toronto,
of doing it.
Atlanta. Yeah, that's what I just said. It's pathetic. From a league standpoint, that's pathetic, Ben. I don't know how you guys disagree with that.
What about the concept of it's a little bit?
My take is I just want to see the best event, bro. If it's an Optic event, it's Optic running champs.
But how
or
is the league not putting on the best event? That's my point.
I can see why you want the league to put on the event.
I mean, I'll tell you.
I just don't want to discredit anybody.
I'll tell you why.
I thought Optic was clearly the best team here.
I think because they're clearly. I mean, we don't want to sugarcoat. Like they've transitioned their staff a lot in the last year and a half. They've reduced their headcount quite a bit. Like they don't have the same level of team working on that stuff, and it helps when a team steps up to host champs. It helps with solving budgetary issues. And I'm very curious what the league looks like next year. obviously, we've all heard the rumors, bro. EFG Savvy Gaming Group is going to be throwing in a lot of money. We'll see if maybe they're going to be the ones putting out coin, into your point, running a league champs in kind of a sick-ass venue.
I mean, yeah, I thought a lot of people thought, we'll get to there whenever, next year. We'll get there next year.
That'll be covered in summer shows, I'm sure.
Yeah, we obviously got the award show coming up, guys. We're going to give away some awards. That's going to be on the 2nd, August 2nd. So that's going to be a good one. We'll definitely be running some shows during the week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of movement as well with some of these rosters. Shout out to Lore, right, from Challengers. That's their team name.
Yeah, Lore Gaming.
Lore Gaming. You had Arcides up there who won.
Yuli, Turiel, Arcides, and Paul X.
Put your mic up and say that one more time.
It was Yuli, Arcides, Turiel, and Paul X.
Bro, they did shit that I've never seen in Best of 7. They won 3 S&Ds and a hard point.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. Winning 3 S&Ds and 1 hard point, and even
how many
Arcides.
best of 7s have you seen though?
I've seen a lot. Especially in Challengers, because they run one every fucking two months.
And you heard Arcides during the interview. He was like, man,
I mean, to be fair, that was a horrible question. Like, asking him like what it feels like to be back on top when he came from the top.
He's like, I lifted Champs Trophy, brother.
Yeah. Top of the mountain, only halfway up.
No, but just to speak to that team, a lot of those players, this is so big for them. Yuli obviously ended up in that shitty London team situation. Paul ended up in that shitty London team situation after being in the shitty New York situation. So for those guys, like, trying to get that path back is big. We've talked a lot about Alex's journey the last couple of years. And so for him to get some positive momentum is really, really big.
They're calling for you, Sam. They're calling for you. They want to get your opinions here. They said that somebody didn't let you talk. I don't know who, but go ahead, Sam. The floor is yours, Sam.
Passed. I don't even know what they would be talking about.
I don't know.
Conversations passed.
I didn't even the chat
It's a minute delayed. I don't know what the fuck they were talking about.
I don't even remember.
Some of the Optic thing. I forgot.
Well, I do want to, because we don't got a lot of time. I know Corey says we got to wrap it up. I just wanted to get your guys' just final thoughts on just everything, bro. Just going into the off season. Sam, we'll start with you. Just final thoughts. Anything else you want to say to everybody watching?
Appreciate y'all, man. I mean, the watch parties, the flanks, the whole season. Granted, we have another tournament, and it's a little bit of a different environment. But, I mean, for me personally, this is my first full year not competing. It's a little bittersweet sitting up here watching some shit like that. Even though I got last year and did the same shit. But, yeah, man. I mean, all the support on all of our streams, the watch parties, the shows. I appreciate you guys, man. It was a great year. And, you know, obviously, again, we have another tournament coming up. It's a little weird, but... shout out to Optic throwing the event of the CDL era, by far not close in my opinion, and the bounce back of a 12th to 1st, man. That is, you can't say enough about it. And shout out Kenny.
Hell yeah, shout out Kenny. Pat, what do you want to say? Anything? Floor is yours.
No, I mean, this is what my 3rd year doing the flank, I think now. It was a long season.
Yeah, you've been here for a minute now, Slay.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little disappointed by all the 5 through 12, Tom. I was hoping they made some more moves to get in because the top 4 kind of ran the year. But
LAT, baby, top 4.
You would have liked definitely. I think we would have all liked to see more movement this year.
Yeah, that's the thing for every year though. I feel like
you know right away if a team works or not.
I mean, we talked about it like in the offseason last year. We're like, all right, well, the top 4 is basically going to run the whole year. We knew it, and they did. So yeah, I want to see definitely more risk taking.
I just love the later end of this season though. Like we saw that movement at the later end of the season. These last 2 majors.
But dude, that's what I hate though. Why do we wait till the end? Like,
because I feel like there wasn't anything else to learn. There wasn't anything else to learn. They just learned quicker.
Yeah,
and they were just knowledge gapping teams.
I just feel like first month or 2, you can tell if a team has it or doesn't have it, and that's when you need to start making changes. Sometimes your team might not be performing well, but you know they can, right? You know they have it in them and they have that potential. Some of these teams, man, it was looking so slow early on. I don't know how they didn't make a change. But Duarte, floor is yours. Anything you want to say, brother?
Yeah, man, where do I start? I mean, shout out to all the people back at home watching, all the people that show out to the events, all the love that I've received. A lot of the people have been nothing but positive to me ever since, starting like things like my health journey, and then even in the streams have been popping off. Basically, this year's probably been one of the better years of my life, and I can't thank you guys enough for changing that. Because it means a lot. I mean, Tom will tell you when he offered me the opportunity to join the flank back in the 2 years ago, I was pretty down bad, and my life has basically done a complete 180 thanks to my co-host here, Tom, and all of you guys back at home. So thank you for the support. I'm going to keep on, going through this health grind, and I'm going to keep on, streaming and doing content, doing the flank, and whatever other opportunities for them to present themselves. So thank you guys, man. Thank you, seriously.
Hey, go ahead, Benjay. He said, Tony said check me, because remember when Tony said if you get an Optic offer, you take it?
Oh,
when
yeah,
when it came from Draza going to either Optic or FaZe, and he just quote tweeted the tweet, the Atlanta FaZe tweet, and said checkmate.
Click on it. Look at Gersh
That's a little double entendre too for Draws.
Gersh, what did Gersh say? He said GG's. Yeah, be like that, bro.
But,
Be like that.
That's a good little double entendre for
I think,
Draws, though. I like
I think
that.
for me,
Wait, Atlanta FaZe tweeted out, just watched an overweight brown social media manager fall to his knees at the credit union at Texas Event Center.
That's insane.
that's crazy.
Hey, Gersh is funny, bro.
But
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
Ben.
I think from my end, Tommy, you and I had started the show 4 years ago. We were streaming to 500 viewers. I'm pretty sure there's like 20K in the chat right now.
Yeah.
We would have done it without you guys. I hate to say it, Pat was kind of right about the season. We thought the league would be top heavy this year. All top 4 teams won all of the events. We have one more event left. It's possible we're going to see 2 top 4 teams win 2 events, or maybe Optic will win 3. We'll see. But it's been a fun season, a great season with a decent amount of parity amongst those teams. And I hope that someone amongst the 5th or 6th can build a squad that can compete with these 4 orgs right now that are kind of running the show. And I'm excited to see us get on a Treyarch game that I've heard great things about, and I'm hoping to see more at the end of August.
Those roster
when the
mania
beta
shows
hits.
are about to hit like
Yeah,
crack.
Rostermania is gonna go crazy.
We're gonna try and.
I already got some intel. I already
do
know
too.
shit
Yeah, we
going
got
on.
some
It was
intel.
conversations going
Top
down
four?
at the
Some
bar.
intel.
No.
Not yet, not top 4 yet.
I think, Chad, what we're going to try and do this offseason is try and be maybe a little bit more regular with the shows. Obviously, EWC kind of helps. The beta kind of helps. But especially in September, October, we're trying to get people like Corey on, Adam on, try and do more like kind of fun shows, more interview shows, and get some of your answers to your questions. So be on the lookout for those once the peak of the offseason hits in the beginning of the fall.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start, guys. To be honest with you, you guys are just the best comedian in the world, bro. You guys are absolutely incredible. I remember starting this journey when I was injured and retired on the New York Subliners, and just to see where everything is now. We've came a long way, man. We've came a long fucking way, and we owe it all to you guys, man. You guys have been absolutely incredible, and just to see where the show has come, I mean, it's been awesome, bro. It's been awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough, man. Super blessed, super grateful, and it's crazy, man. The lows to lows turned into the highs to highs, man. I was down bad when I got injured, and I couldn't play, and I was just going through a rough patch. I didn't really have anything going on, and just to see all this now, it's crazy, man. We got 20,000 live viewers in here. And you guys have been showing so much love on just all the watch parties, the shows, and even just the content in general, man. I just can't thank you guys enough. So, ZooMAFIA to the moon, I appreciate you guys so much. And I hope you guys all enjoyed the shows this weekend and the watch party. I wish we had more time, but we'll be back. And we'll see you guys in the next one, guys. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, anchor.fm/theflank, check out all the other sites we're on. Go follow @theflank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials. And a huge congratulations to Optic Texas. Again, they deserve it. They definitely look like the best team this weekend, and they deserve all the credit in the world. So huge congratulations to Optic and the Green Wall. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? It's all right. You pissed me off before we end the last show.
Executive producing, bro.
You know what I mean? Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's end it, guys. Have a good one. This guy's been drinking, and he's been drinking energy drinks and shit, guys. Just ignore him. Guys, I love y'all. Take care. Brush your hair. And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of The Flank. Take it easy. That's what I'm talking about.